Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vinland Saga Season 2 episode number 7 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we got to see more about uh, Thorkel and Einar and how they're like leading their lives and how they're progressing in their mission to actually cut the trees down and sow seeds and all that, and they needed a horse. Unfortunately, there were no other people were lending them horse because they were slaves, and they come across the Kettle's dad, Kettle being the master, his dad. And his dad has like his own place. She farms over there. There's a little hut for him, and he asks Thorfinn and Einar to do his household chores. In return, he's going to lend them a horse, even some plows. Later on, he lends them, and everything goes smoothly. And later on, we get to see Kettle a little bit kind of arguing with his dad about like, oh, come with us. Why are you living here? While later on, we also get to see Spherical. That's the name of the dad. His and Snake's relationship, as to how they're more have like a better relationship than the actual father and son, and how Snake always jokes around about stuff. And we get to see the father's opinion about wealth, as to how Kettle has so much that he has to hire bodyguards, has to give the king tribute for him to keep an eye on the place so that no robbers or no people try to loot them. And so basically, he's earning money, and he has so much wealth that he's using that wealth to hire people to keep an eye on that wealth, reducing his wealth, and then he's earning again to keep that cycle going, which is something that his dad doesn't appreciate. His dad is like just keep the amount that you can handle by yourself. Why is there a need to have so much that you won't be able to do anything about it yourself, that you have to hire people to look after it? Wealth in excess, that is something that his obviously his dad is about the opinion that, yeah, this is not something that we need. However, all these things we got to see, and it was a really good episode. And we get to see Thorfinn thinking about it a little bit, and a little bit of a time skip where Thorfinn and Einar, they have become very good friends. And the fact that Thorfinn and Einar are friends made Thorfinn kind of smile by the end of it. And that's where it ended. Let's see what happens in this episode. Let us begin episode number 7. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, is it some people? Iron Fist Kettle. Oh, Kettle's not here. Some thieves, okay. Hmm. Taste for it. Oh, wait, is it like one of their people? No. Okay, so wait, there's some pesky thieves, that means, who are stealing, and they think that Snake's man doesn't know, but he knows. Okay, all right. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. A nice morning. All right. Oh, this girl. I forgot her name. What was her name? True. Whichever way, it's he's he's giving you back. Exactly. Well, well, yo, his hair started. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't think so. He just wanted to do his job. Arnate, that's Arnate. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. Wow. What the? What? Wait, who's this? Is this Kettle's wife? Calling her mistress? So. Oh boy. Oh no, no, never mind. It's not the wife. Great. Okay, well. Ooh. Yeah. Sure do. Hmm. All right. Yeah, like the more they clear the trees, the more place they'll get to sow the seeds. So, oh yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I feel like, oh, yeah, but we'll have to clear the woods. Yeah. What? Okay, well, oh my. Thorfinn's like, what is happening here? My friend is being possessed. Well, Freya. Since they're Norse, like Nordic, that's why Freya. Oh boy. Louder! Yes! Hey yo, the deer is like. Oh wow. Wait, wait. Oh. Ooh. Oh, it's the Skittles. Oh, those the people. The people who's going to come. Wait. Oh, this is also. Oh, this is Olmar's brother. His. Okay. Another one of Kettle's son. It's a coward. Thorgil. Ooh. That is true. However. Also, he's still not king. So the timeline is like. And he's concerned about Olmar as well, because he knows that Olmar is not fit for. Oh, Snake is here. Thorgil. Hmm. Oh, so he trained him. Makes sense. What? Oh, is it the thieves or something? Oh, there's the thieves. Oh boy, they're just children, yeah. Oh boy. Hmm. Kettle is not comfortable with this. Oh boy. And that's why they were like stealing, like little by little so that they didn't get caught. Oh boy. Sure. Hmm. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I don't think Orma wants to go anywhere now after seeing the Thorfinn situation. That traumatized him. Oh, but he's okay. Ugh. Necklace. What the? Hey, yo, that's ears! That's years. You see, oh my god. You see, you think that's jerky? Look at it. Oh my god. Oh my god, this kid. Yeah, pranked. Prank my bro, you know. Oh god. The Iron Fist? Wait, was his dad like a warrior or something? Oh damn. Oh, also he was a fighter. Oh, I was not expecting this. Well, you didn't know that about. Well, this is the dad you were actually, saying that you don't understand anything about fighting or something. Hmm. The kids. Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. He is not comfortable. What? Oh boy. Probably not. Who? Oh. Okay. Oh, he knows him. So, you know him? Oh. Oh, so he ran. Oh, or that. Or maybe he ran away. Oh boy. No, it's crying. Damn, his nose is red. Wait, so this is a wife. Oh, like she called him the master. That's why I thought, okay, so this is the wife. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh. Well, that's what he did. Oh, that's how he got them to speak. Yeah, a little bit of, a little bit of lie. All right, stop. Go back to your battlefield. Oh my god, great. Oh, like I said. What? Why is the dad so like oh, war guy. He is freaked out. Okay. Oh boy, Kettle has his own trouble. Ooh. He's like, yeah, 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 go on. Yeah. That'll save me a lot of trouble. I'm afraid of my son, so. Ugh. Yeah, let them work for you. Like, I guess. Yeah, like cutting off their hands won't result to any productive thing. Like, let them work for you. Like, I feel like that's. And let them, like, food and shelter, give them. There you go. That's good, like, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I feel like the sun will be. Oh boy. Uh, whoa. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Eat? Wait, what? Okay, what? Okay, great. Oh my god. Okay, what the hell? Good lord. And this is the thing, you can see how he has changed because he has a family now. I'm talking about Kettle. Wait, what? Wait, okay, what? Wait, who's that behind him? Oh my god. Whoa. Okay, wait, what? So, okay. Oh no. Okay, this is all right. Well, hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I was not expecting that. Okay, so there's a few things I was not expecting. First of all, I was just going to say that maybe he's like Thor's, like he got a family, and that's why he started becoming afraid of violence and battles and wars. And I was going to say that, and then suddenly he starts saying how all of that was a lie and everything, and then we see Arnheid over there, and I'm like, okay, so I was not expecting two things. First, Arnheid over there, and then, um, okay, oh boy, I guess she is a slave, so, oh boy. Huh, okay, so, what's his name? Kettle. So he was not a iron fisted, like, was that a lie? Like, what's going on? Okay, I need to read that part again. So was that like a just a rumor? Was that like a whole lie? Or did he like or was he iron fisted Kettle at first but then he changed? So that's another thing. And this is another thing that always rubbed me the wrong way is that he seemed too like intimidated by like not intimidated I would say, but it seems as if no one listens to him. Like okay, that's it. Is that it? Yeah. Like by what I mean that no one listens to him is that even his bodyguards and those guys, they don't care. They're taking his slaves, doing whatever the hell they want to with them, and they're like, oh, like they just don't care. So I always found it wrong. I was like, what's going on? Like Thorfinn and Einar are his slaves. So how do these bodyguards get the courage of laying hands on them? Like how is that possible? And I can see that now. He's intimidated by I'm pretty sure he's intimidated by Snake as well because Snake seems pretty strong and he's afraid of his own son, and his son has this this glorified way of looking at his dad. He's like, oh, my dad is the iron fisted warrior, everyone loved him, everyone feared him, while he's just just afraid, intimidated, and he doesn't know what to do. And so I'm going to go to that part and read it again. Was he like this from the beginning? Was the whole iron fisted getting just a rumor? Or was he like that in the beginning and then he changed and he became like this, cowardly? Uh, I'll go to that part again. And I'll talk about the whole Arnheit situation later on. Before that, okay, let's talk about this from the beginning. For quite a few things happened here. First of all, in the beginning of this episode, we see Snake finding footprints. Two sets of Wait, two sets of footprints, wasn't it? Just a minute. Okay. How many damage? Two of them. Yeah. So wait. So okay, okay. So the sister was also helping the brother out, I'm guessing. I think so. Anyways, yeah, that is why they also was like going to punish the sister, but the brother was like, oh, but punish me instead. Okay, so they found two sets of footprints here, and Snake is like, all right, yeah, we got to catch them. It was a very small amount of damage, but still, like we gotta catch them at least, and that's how the whole thing started. All right. Next thing we get to see this morning, Einar is pouring water, and Arnheid is there, and Einar is talking to Arnheid as always, and Einar is talking about how the old master Sverken, I think that was his name, or Sver something like that. I forgot his name. Anyways, he how he has like he's like giving them horses and stuff and helping them out, and Arnheid is like laughing, and Arnheid is like, oh, he must like have taken a fancy to you, and Einar is like, really, does he, like I'm not sure, but yeah, it is true because Arnheid says the correct thing. She's like, yeah, obviously, because even if you're doing work for him, we are supposed to be slaves. Nobody listens to us, and nobody like gives us fair treatment. However, he's at least giving you fair treatment, which in itself is something different and something special. So that means he is looking at you guys in a special way. And yeah, like because I'm guessing probably his dad, Kettle's dad, and we've seen this one as well. Kettle is kind of fair in his thing, he's like, oh, you guys are slaves, but don't worry, if you're able to pay me back by the end of whichever year by doing your own thing, cultivating wheat, selling them, gaining enough money to buy back your freedom, you'll be free men. And he gave them like a fair opportunity. So his dad also seems a lot like fair. If you do the job for him, he's going to give you stuff, and he's going to give you fair compensation. And even he even said that, oh, you guys work for me, so since you work for me, you deserve the food that you're eating here, so take a bowl and have your meal. So he seems like a person like that, a fair person who's going to give you stuff which you have worked for. And that is why that in itself shows how he looks at you in a better way than all the other people here. Half of the workers in this farm are just nasty people. They look at slaves as if they're like some kind of like subhuman species, and they don't care about you. So compared to that, obviously the old master is a lot better. So yeah, obviously Arnheid is right. He has taken a fancy to you guys. So which in itself is a good thing. And Arnheid smiles, and Arnheid is like, yeah, like you don't understand. You're a nice person, Einar, and that is exactly why he probably has taken a fancy to you. And Einar's like, oh, I'm nice. And yeah, he's so happy. Thorfinn's like, oh, I'm going to go and do the job. And Einar is like, oh, okay. And then he's like, oh, that's Thorfinn, He's like, is he being considerate? And I'm like, no, obviously not. I doubt he has any clue what you're trying to do. And he's not trying to be considerate. He just probably wants to go and work. Because this is Thorfinn we're talking about. So yeah, like and Einar is like, oh, you know what? That's my friend. Like Thorfinn. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't talk much. And Arnheid is like, yeah, I know. Anyways, the mistress calls, and Arnheid is like, yeah, gotta go. So Einar is just laughing. He's like, yes, she called me a nice person. And I'm like, yeah, well. Okay. Now, at first I thought this the mistress, that is Kettle's wife. But one thing kind of threw me off when she said, "Oh, your master is out," and I was like, "Oh, wait, she said your master, so maybe she's like a housekeeper or something." I thought like, but I can like understand. She said your master because yeah, that's technically what he is. Like he's the master of all the slaves, so that's why she said your master. That doesn't mean that, yeah, so she is his wife, like, because later on he called him dear, like Anata. So that is his wife. I kind of got thrown off here because she said your master is out. But either way, yeah, she just slapped her and she's like, "Oh, you're wasting your time. Come in and do your job, and you earn to keep." Now, okay, and then she says that your master is bringing guests back with you, so you need to provide, kind of serve them as well. And yeah, obviously, you can see how Arnheid is not happy about the whole thing. But nothing she can do about it because she is obviously a slave. All right. After that, oh boy, Arnheid's situation is so much more worse, I feel like, than Thorfinn and Einar. Like Thorfinn and Einar, at least they have been given the freedom. Like they are slaves, obviously, they don't have the freedom as per se. However, they have at least have the freedom of waking up whenever they want to, uh, doing their own thing, like earning their keep as a free man. And then if they're able to earn their keep back, they like provide the amount to the master, and the master will be like, all right, you know what, debt cleared, you are free, and that's it. The whole process, they're working as free men, kind of, even though they are slaves at their place, and at least they have the freedom to do whatever. Like this is the thing, the master is like, yeah, you do the job, if you are able to complete it like within a very short amount of time, it's your benefit because you'll be freer, a free man, even quicker. So it's on you. However quick you do the thing, you'll be able to get out of here, which kind of gives them enough enough motivation to do the job quick. That's why they won't slack off. They won't be like, oh, I'm not going to work today. They will be working every day because they want to get out of here as soon as possible. They want to be free. So like I said in the beginning, in the first episode, it's a very good interesting technique that the master used. He's like, yeah, you guys are free now, however you want, just clear this place, sow the seeds, like harvest the crops, and provide me the money, and I'll just make you free. So, and however you can take as much time as you like, but the sooner you do it, the sooner you'll be free. So both, they have the motivation to do the job, to earn the money quick, and obviously get it also benefits from it. So it's a good thing. And the best part of this is they're actually free for the time being. They no one's going to be holding their no one's going to be be at their side and be like, oh, you do this, you do that, why are you not doing this, punish them if they don't do the work properly. No one will be doing that. They're free to do whatever they want, and that's the best part of their whole thing. However, Arnheid, she doesn't look she has as if she has that freedom. And yeah, like we see the mistress kind of treat her like that, and later on the whole thing with Kettle. So she has it so much worse. She has it so much worse than Thorfinn and Einar. But yeah, okay. Anyways, that was that at the beginning section. Later on, we get to see Thorfinn and Einar look at the wheat, and the wheat is growing, and Thorfinn is like, "Oh wait, is this what wheat looks like?" And he's like, "It kind of looks feeble." I love how he mentions how it looks feeble. Anyways, and Einar is like, "Yeah, we're going to do this. However, how much years it take, we'll be doing it." And Thorfinn's like, all right, the wheat is growing. What should we do now? Now, obviously, the correct thing to do now is, since the wheat is growing, we have nothing to do. Go and cut down the trees. That's the second part of the job, and clear the land. But Einar is like, we pray. But obviously, this is, you could say this is the what do you call that? The medieval times, and that is why obviously people has a has this whole thing of praying to gods for harvest, and rain and stuff, all that. So obviously, since he's a farmer's boy, he has his own farm in his place. He was like, yeah, he's like, we need to pray now. And Thorfinn has no clue about this. Thorfinn hasn't prayed to anybody throughout his life. He just wanted to kill Arshalat. So he's like, wait, what do we do? Pray? What's that? And Einar is like, oh, we should pray to Freya. And wait, there was another god he said. what was the name of the other god? Just a minute. Okay, he says like, oh, pray Thorfinn, and Thorfinn is like, who am I supposed to pray to? Um, anyone. Yahweh. Wait, who is Yahweh? Is that another god? Yahweh. Obviously, I know Freya. I'm pretty sure everyone knows Freya. Form of the Hebrew name of a god used in the Bible. Oh, the name comes from okay. Oh, it's too sacred to be spoken. The vowels sounds are uncertain. The God of Israelites. Okay, representing the biblical pronunciation Yah. YHWH. Hebrew name reveals to Moses in the book of Exodus. The name Yahweh consists of a sequence of consonants Yod, He, Wah, and He, and is known as the Tetragrammaton. Okay, it's a lot of things. All right. So he's like, yeah, pray to any god, and obviously Freya. I'm pretty sure everyone knows Freya. Freya is basically okay. Let me check. The Norse god associated with love, beauty, fertility, sex, war. Okay, all that. So yeah, that is Freya. Freya. Everybody knows Freya. So he's like, yeah, like to pray to anyone, and and Thorfinn is like, oh, am I supposed to do that? And I love how Einar just screams at the top of his lungs. He's like, come on, put your hands together and pray with me. Make our crops grow. And he's screaming, and Thorfinn kind of slowly tells, like just very quietly says, and he's like, what are you doing? Shout! Shout out your lungs. And yeah, that was a little funny section, And yeah. Alright, next scene. We get to see Kettle is coming back with his son, his other son. Wait, what was his name? Thorgil? Just a minute. Was his name Thorgil? Okay, where did they? Okay, just a minute. All right, I'm trying to find his name. I think his name is Thorgil or something like that. Where is his name? Yeah, Thorgil. Thorgil. Okay. So Thorgil is like, oh, this place hasn't changed, mom and dad, like, is everyone doing well? How is Olmar? And they talk about how Olmar wants to go to the battlefield, and Ketil is like, oh, everyone has a strengths and weaknesses. Thorgil, maybe he doesn't have what it takes to be in the battlefield, and and Thorgil says that, oh no, I've seen Prince Canute, like that guy, he has changed, and. King Canute. Now, here's one thing which is kind of unusual. We just saw in the previous episode, Canute was crowned as a king. But here, Thorgil says nobody calls him a prince anymore. He changed quite a lot in this war. He's a proper general now. Alright, here's the thing. I think obviously the timeline is not synced. Like, we saw what happened with the Canute situation, how he became the king, but that's just a little thing we saw before. That part has still not come, or it's probably in the process. And now that this scene we are seeing, Canute is probably still in the process of being a king. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. And he's still not the king now, but he's in the process. He still hasn't become king. And that is why the whole Harold situation, because I was like, why does he provide tribute to King Harold? Because King Harold is supposed to be Thorfinn's brother. But if Thorfinn is the king, why is he providing tribute money to King Harold? Like, that one part kind of confused me. But if this is like if Canute is still in the process of becoming king, then it would make sense, because Canute is still not king now. Like I'm saying, I might be making a mistake here, but that's what I think is happening. And that is why Thorgil says here, oh, he's a proper general now. So he's not king still, but he's a general. He's like going in wars and stuff. So there you go. Okay, I'm not exactly sure, like I said, but I think that's what's happening here. The timeline is not synced. We saw that in previously, the whole Canute situation, but here, that scene that we are seeing now is still under process. Like, Canute has still not become king, and it's like going parallelly with that or something. I think so. Anyways, so Thorgil is like, oh, how do you think we should let Olmar go to the battlefield and see goes on? And while they're having this conversation, Kettle's like, oh no, obviously not. Like I'm not leaving him anywhere. And yeah, but then in comes Snake, and like Snake is like, oh, how are you, Thorgil? And we get to know here that Snake is the one who trained him, I guess. And later on, Snake is like, oh right, Master, we have something for you. And they bring in the two kids, and they are the ones who stole flour from their place. And they're like, they've been handcuffed, and like, they're like being kept beside the well. And obviously the brother and the sister are very worried about the situation, while the others are having a meal, like Thorgil and everyone is just having a hearty meal. And here Thorgil, like, accounts of all the battle that he has done, how after the battle, like, the plundering, which obviously Canute was not happy about. Canute said that, oh, like, stop any people who does the plundering and kidnapping, take them and put their heads on the pike. This is not how we do stuff here. And guys kill each other all the time over women they can sell. My god. And Olmar is just sweating. And then he brings up Olmar, and he's like, oh, like, you should go. And I was like, Olmar is just freaked out, the whole Thorfinn situation, where Thorfinn just stood there while those guys were like, hacking and slashing at him. And he got freaked out there. I'm like, oh, definitely he would be a little bit intimidated by it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he is intimidated about it. However, he's still like, oh yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove myself. And Thorgil is like, yeah, that's my little brother. And I'll give you a souvenir. And I love this part where he hands him over like a necklace of ears. I looked at it for a moment and I'm like, oh my god, those are ears. This guy, he didn't even look at it. He's Olmar, I'm talking about Olmar. He takes it and he's like, oh, what is this? This is jerky or something. I'm like, jerky? Like, dude, look at it. You think that's a jerky? And when and when Thorgil is like, oh, those are just like, ears of British men. Olmar's like, oh, can I eat this? And Thorgil's like, oh, it doesn't, it's not tasty. I doubt it's tasty. That's ears of Englishmen. And it takes him a while for it to register in his head that those are actually ears. And he freaks out, just throws it. And Thorgil's just laughing as if he, like, pranked his brother after coming after coming from war. He just thought of like one of the banger pranks, and he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to prank my bro. After so long. I'm just going to give him this necklace of ears, and just it'll be a really crazy prank, and he just did it, and he's like, yeah, got him. Oh, good lord. Yeah, okay. Pranks were crazier back in the days, I can see that. Not like now. Not like nowadays, like, it was crazy back in the days. All right. Okay, so this guy, Thorgil, he's like, oh, you've heard about our dad? Our dad was a legend when he was young. And here we get to know about the Iron Fist Kettle. And he says as soon as he started fighting, his weapon would shatter under his own strength. This is like sounds like some kind of a legend, that rumors that just came out. Like, so as soon as he started fighting, his weapon would shatter under his own strength. Okay, like, so, damn, even even Thorkel doesn't do that. Like, at least Thorkel's weapons stay intact even when he's fighting. But this guy, supposedly Kettle, he was so strong, his own weapon would shatter. And he wouldn't stop there. He'd fight the rest of the battle barehanded. Now, here's the thing. I'm not exactly sure how much this is true or not, because the ending scene kind of made me think. And I'm actually kind of thinking, like, oh, maybe those were like all rumors. Because Kettle does not look like a person who actually was so strong and so fearful that his own weapon broke and he just fist fighted throughout the whole thing, like just beat everyone up into pulp just using his fist. He doesn't look like that now, at least. So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how much legitimate this rumor is. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Either way, yeah, that was the whole rumor. And he's like he accomplished more than anyone fighting like that. And yeah, that is why they called him the Iron Fist Kettle. Okay, when I talk to the veterans, the name Iron Fist comes up a lot. So look, okay, it seems like it's legitimate, but I feel like there's some part of the rumors that are kind of embellished. Is that a word? Yeah, I think so. Like, kind of exaggerated. Because I don't know, like a person like that, how is he so afraid now? He's actually afraid of his own son. Like a person who was like that before, I don't think he would be afraid of his own son. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's why I'm saying maybe he was like the iron fisted kettle, but maybe the whole thing was exaggerated or something a little bit more than it is. And yeah, kettle seems like kind of sweating. He's like, Thorgil, you must be tired from your journey. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like a little bits and parts of the rumor is kind of exaggerated. Because he's like, as soon as he heard that, he's like sweating. He's like, yeah, yeah, I was the iron fisted kettle, haha. It seems like that. Like, I'm not exactly sure, but let's wait. I'm sure I'll get my answers. If this was if the rumor was actually true or not, or if it has been exaggerated, I'm sure I'll get my answer. Anyways, okay, so then like Snake is like, oh, but we gotta deal with the kids. So there you go. The kids are brought in front of them, and you can see how Kettle is not at all comfortable with this. He's like, oh my god, like I don't want to do anything with these people. Kids, like they're just kids, and you can see how he's not comfortable with this. However, all these people surrounding him, they are, like they're all, yeah. So oh boy. So yeah, like I don't blame them, I don't blame Torgil or Snake for thinking like that, and because they are people who have been battling from their childhood, I'm pretty sure. Like, they're just always on the battlefield. So their mentality is like, oh, they did something wrong, they should be punished. And their punishment obviously is like very, very like harsh. So that's why I'm like, I don't blame them. That's how they have been brought up from a childhood. So yeah, but like they're just kids. But okay, anyways, so Kettle's like, oh, what's your name? And he answers the girl. He's like, oh, my name is Jur, and this girl is Tora. She's my sister. And so they're like, oh, who's your dad? Who's your mom? And they kind of talk about the dad. He's like, oh, my father is missing. And last fall he went to sell vegetables and never came back. And Pater says that, oh, I know your dad. He's Snorri, the father, the son of Bo. And Pater tells Kettle, and Kettle's like, oh, like he has some debts in our, in our place. And, you know, so he's like, oh, we know them. So now after that, Kettle is thinking, like, what should I do here? The families have lost their breadwinner. And wait, just a minute. What does it say? Okay. Kettle says that traditionally families that have lost their breadwinner are hired by other families to do work. Okay. But children may be healthy, but they have a sick mother and a baby. And we can see him crying almost. Nobody would take them in. The wife is like, what's the matter, honey? And he's like, yeah, okay. Okay, so you can see how he's sympathetic towards them. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do anything to them. And he's like, oh, what do you do to steal? So they're like, oh, they stole a little bit of flour. I think that's what they say. That's what they're saying, at least. Like, who knows what else they stole. But that's what they said. And they say how, Snake says how he actually brought the whole thing out of their mouth. And Ket is like, oh, didn't I feel like you threatened them or something? He's like, oh no, I didn't threaten them. I just went to their house and just started emptying all the flour. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Better speak, otherwise bad things are going to happen. And I have a perfect way to figure out whether you're lying or not. Underneath the bag, the sack, Master Kettle's name is there. So if I'm able to find out Master Kettle's name is inside the bag, it will be proven that it is Master Kettle's thing. So yeah, you better speak before this flower all falls down, and I'm able to get to see the proof with my own eyes. Now, obviously, it worked. They spoke the truth. Obviously, I doubt there was any name written there. He just bluffed them. But yeah, that's how they got it. And Thorgil, not Thorgil, sorry. Kettle's like, oh my god, you just just bluffed them like that. But either way, Thorgil is like, oh okay, they stole something, all right, fair enough. Simple thing you have to do, just cut off one of their arms, each of them. And okay, now like I was saying, I don't blame him for saying stuff like that, because like I said, he's in the battlefield always. So like his way and values and everything, looking at the world, the way he looks at the world is extreme. We can see Snake also exhibits the same thing, however he's a lot lesser extreme than Thorgil. He's like, oh, I don't think we should cut off their arms, like that would be a little bit too much, but we should beat them, that. So that's why, like I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be like, oh, these two are horrible people, why are they treating two kids like that? But like I said, I cannot say anything to these two guys, because this is the medieval times, and not only that, these people are actually fighters, warriors, people who kill other people in the battlefield each and every day. So for them, loyalty and these type of things are in a huge, in a very, very high pedestal. Like any person who betrays them, yeah, they'll be like, oh, cut off your arm, or these type of punishment will be given to them. And so even if that is a young child, they don't discriminate. And I'm pretty sure if they fall in that category, if there's someone who betrays someone and someone tells them to give up their arms, they'll probably do that happily. Like they're that type of a person. These are warriors, and people who fight every day. They look at death in their eyes. So that is why I'm saying I cannot kind of say that, oh, these two guys are bad, because especially Thorgil, where he just said cut off their arms. So I cannot put the whole blame on him, because that's how he has been brought up. He has always been in the battlefield, and that is his way of looking at the world. While, like I said, Snake was a lot more less extreme. He was like, oh no, I don't think we should do that, but we should at least provide some sort of punishment to them. So the brother is like, oh, my sister is little, just put all the punishment on me. So Thorgil is like, all right, 2 arms then, one for you, one for your sister. And here we can see Kettle is freaked out. He's like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with this. My son, he's terrifying. He look at him. He just went out to fight for a few years, and this is the monster he is now. I can hardly believe he's my son. And he's like, oh my god, why did you kids steal from me? Now I can't deal with this. And he's just having a mental breakdown here. I have no choice but to punish you. And here's the thing, he has an image to maintain. The Iron Fist Kettle, he's the Iron Fist Kettle, supposed to be. So he is definitely someone who should maintain that image. And in no way should he let people even doubt that, oh, this guy, he's not as he was before. Iron Fisted Kettle and all that, that was all in the past. Nobody should, think of him like that. And that's why he has this image to maintain, but he in his heart, he doesn't want to do it. So I love how Pater comes up, and Pater is like, oh, you know what? Let me speak on behalf, of my master. And it's kind of interesting to see this, because you can see how Kettle is freaking out so much. However, Pater, he has the courage to actually come in front of everyone and give his opinion, even though we know how people look down upon him because he was a former slave. You remember how people look down upon him? So here, the masters of the house are talking, as you can see. Ketil, his son, that is Thorgil, they're the masters of the house. While he, a former slave, he had the courage to actually interfere in that conversation when these people are talking and actually suggest something, which in something is I actually did not think that he would do. So I feel like this guy probably has some kind of a past, like this guy, the Pater guy. He doesn't seem like a normal person. I don't know. This guy, there's something about this guy, you know, and I don't know. Maybe he was also some way special. Maybe he was, but because he's too courageous. Like his like Kettle is freaking out looking at his son. He's like, oh my god, who is this? Like, is this my son? My son has changed so much. I'm freaked out. I'm so scared of him. While he, being a former slave, he got the courage to actually interfere in their conversation while all the masters were talking and present his own opinion. He did say that, oh master, I have a suggestion to make. Should I talk on behalf of you? And he did say that. He did ask for permission, but still, it's intimidating in that situation to actually present something, and he did that flawlessly. That is why I'm saying this guy, it seems like he has some kind of a history. I'm not sure. This guy's like Pater. He seems like he has something going on. I'm not sure. Anyways, he's like, oh, I have something to say. So I think you shouldn't be just taking off their arms. If you take off both their arms, you'll be practically executing them. The brother won't be able to work, and the family won't be able to just survive. They'll all die. So instead of doing that, which is counterproductive, obviously, they stole your stuff. So let them work for you. So what we do is, like, his dad even has a lot of debt in our place. So they can work here, stay here, both of them. Bring in their family as well. They can also stay here and work, and little by little they can just just give out, just what was that word, repay the debt. And not only that, they can also make a little livelihood for themselves so that they can survive. That will be productive in all aspects. You'll get your money back. The amount of stuff they stole from you will be paid back. His dad's debt will also be paid back. So win-win, everyone wins. Instead of just slashing off his arms, which will literally make everyone lose, because what will you gain by that? These guys won't be able to pay back their debts. The brother will probably just die. The sister and the mother won't be able to survive, and the whole family will be dead within a few days. And the debt will remain unpaid. So what do you gain from that? Nothing. Yeah, you gain nothing from that. Instead of that, just hire them. Just hire them. They can work for you, and they can give everything back. And yeah, you'll profit, which is a perfectly sensible thing, and it's a perfect punishment for them. And he's like, yeah, that solves the problem. Now here's where something different happens, which was something I was not expecting. Kettle was like, oh yeah, sure, there you go, yeah, exactly, like a good plan, Pater. And he's like, it must be compensated. I must be competent for the loss. Yes. In that case, Pater says something completely different here. He's like, for the aforementioned reasons, I believe a beating would be an appropriate punishment. Now here's the thing. I think the reason why what's his name? Pater, yeah. Pater suddenly said this, that, oh, I think they should at least get a punishment, that is a beating, because the master, like I said, they're trying to protect the master's image, which is Kettle's image here. If Kettle let these kids go away scot-free, that would be, I guess you could say, like a blow to his image or something. Like, everyone would be like, oh, this guy, there were some people, the thief who stole stuff from him, and he just let them go, and they're working for him now. So I don't know, but I feel like that would be like a blow to his reputation, where he was supposed to be the iron-fisted Kettle. He let this happen. And I think Pater realizes that, and that is why Pater did not want that happening. And that is exactly why Pater said that, oh, but they should get a punishment. They would be beaten. And that's what happened. I think that's what happened. And even in front of his son, if he let these kids go scot-free, Thorgil probably would also I guess you could say, be disillusioned in his father, and the reputation or whatever is going to fall. And something like that. I just think that's what happened here. And that is exactly why Pater here suddenly said that I believe they need a punishment, even though Kettle was ready to just let them go scot free and let them work for him. But Pater was like, no, they need a punishment. And and even like Snake was ready. Snake was like, yeah, you know what, fair enough. And Thorgil was like, you know what, yeah, fine, go ahead, you know. So yeah, Kettle was like, but the Kettle was like, no, no, wait, they can pay back what they stole by working for me. Paying off the debt can be their punishment. But yeah, Snake is like, they can't go off with no punishment at all, master. And if you don't, people will not take us seriously. There you go. That's the word. No one will take them seriously if this happens. And to avoid that, like, Pater interfered over there, and Pater was like, yeah, they need punishment. And here's the thing, he brings out the stick, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to hit you. And Thorgil was like, oh yeah, okay. Oh no, not that. Before that, they were like, oh, how many strokes? And Kettle was like, all right, fine, like 10 strokes. And suddenly Thorgil here interfered, and he's like, yeah, 10 strokes each. And I'm like, great, this is fantastic, like just what was needed. And obviously the brother is like, no, leave my sister alone, like hit me, 20, like 20 for me, like I'll take my sister's one as well. And Thorgil suddenly gets pumped up, and he's like, oh kid, I like you, you're kind of brave, let me do it. And he just goes, and oh my god. And Snake wasn't really like, Snake was like, oh, you're going to kill him, you don't know how to hold back. But he's like, yeah, I can do it. And he hits him so hard, first stroke only. He was, the second one he would have died. So Kettle had to interfere. Kettle is like, no, stop, like let me do it, because obviously, like, yeah, Thorgil was going too far. So Kettle then hit the kid, 10 times. Yeah, and there you go. And like I said, this is what I'm saying. um this is how they have been living their life, so I cannot like really blame them for this, because these two, like like Thorgil, Snake, they're from the battlefield. They look at death every day. So yeah, for them this is like normal. They're like, yeah, this is just normal. He did something wrong, we're going to hit them, even if he's like a 12-year-old kid. So yeah, there you go. While Kettle is more like a very passive person. He doesn't want all that stuff, even though he was known as the Iron Fisted Kettle. Okay, anyways, so later on we see like in Thorgil, Olmar, they're all having like a party. And okay, here was the shocking part. Two shocking things, one after the other. I guess the second thing wasn't that shocking, the whole Arnheid situation, because I should have guessed it, because she's a slave. So, oh my god, like, yeah, but I don't know. Anyways, not that. However, the big thing here is that Kettle says all that Iron Fist stuff is a lie. This part, okay, so what does he mean by that? A Norseman cannot be a coward and make it in this world. Everyone expects me to be brave. All right. He's laughing, and he's like, nobody suspects a great man like me would lie like that. Okay, so that was a full lie. But then he, like, Thorgil said that I've asked my superiors and they have said. So did the superiors also lie about this? That's the part which is bothering me, because it's not that he just heard his dad say that I was the Iron Fisted Kettle and he just believed it. No, he said that he talked to his superiors, and everyone talked about this guy. Everyone talked how he was such a great man and he was such a fighter, and all those rumors. So where does all those things come from? It's not that his dad spread the rumors. Thorgil heard from everyone else, and that's why he believed it. So why do they say that? Like, Like that part doesn't, I don't understand. Maybe Kettle himself spread the rumors and everybody believed it or something. I'm not sure what he did. But okay, here you go. It's proven. He literally says here that that was a lie. Like that was a complete lie. He's no Iron Fisted Kettle, and he's like, since I'm a Norseman, I shouldn't be a coward like that. And nobody suspects a great man like me would lie about that. So everyone thinks I'm the Iron Fisted Kettle. Yeah, so I guess that's what's like. So he just lied. He just lied and said that, oh, I'm this person, and everyone just believed him. So wait, so does nobody, did nobody see him in the battlefield then? Is he even a fighter? I'm not exactly sure now. He's probably not. So he just lied about the whole thing. Okay, and then he says that uh, I am afraid of Thorgil, my own son. And we see the kid like just bruised his face and everything. I'm afraid of war. I'm afraid of violence. Hmm. And then we see Arnheit. She's like, being kind can possibly be a bad thing. I know your pain. Okay. And he's like, oh, you're the only one who'd say that to me. You're the only one I can tell everything. Stay with me. Okay, so without you, my world is full of darkness. And Arnheid's face is, oh my god, what can I say? She is, her face is just like, just without emotion. She's just staring blankly at. So here's the thing. Okay, so I'm pretty sure like I'm pretty sure I'm correct in thinking what I'm like, like, which I'm pretty sure, like, what can I say, like, since she's a slave, I guess that's what's going on. But at first I was going to say, like, maybe he's just like, like, I don't know, like, just like a daughter is just confining in her or something. At first I was going to say that, but then I just looked at that scene and I'm like, okay, definitely that's not what's happening here. And yeah, so okay. But this is what I'm saying. I guess she is, okay, what can I even say? Like, I don't even know how she came in this place and how she became a slave. But, yeah, like, like, the whole thing with Kettle, I'm actually kind of conflicted as to what to think of this guy, because as a person, he seems like a very nice person. He's just like, obviously he lied about his whole Iron Fisted Kettle thing, but like, it's fine, I guess. Like, like everyone has, and he's scared of violence and all that, and he's not like a crazy battle maniac or whatever. He treats his people fairly. He provides his slaves good opportunity and gives them the freedom. He also provides them, like, the opportunity to be free. All that, like, like, who does that? That's why I'm saying, like, I'm kind of like this. Okay, and then as well, the whole thing with the kids. He was really not having it. Like, when his, like, his son and, like, Snake were like, oh, we punish him and that, and his Thorgil almost like killed the kid. I mean, one stroke of the baton. He came up and he's like, oh, like, stop, like, I'll do it. And he took, like, like, probably hit them a lot, like, slower than what Thorgil would have done. And yeah, and he, at first, he was even ready to forgive them. All these things, and he even almost cried. Like, at that scene, he was almost going to cry, looking at their situation. So yeah, he's not a bad guy, but at the same time, like, this whole thing in the end. But I guess, like, what can I even say? I'm guessing this is a medieval times. Like, I don't know, like, this is probably just normal for them. But still, like, yeah, I don't think he's a bad person, but he does have his like, that whole thing in the end. And Arnheit doesn't look happy at all. in the end. So that's one thing that I'm kind of conflicted about. But as a person, Kettle seems decent. He seems like as a owner of, at least the opportunity that he's providing Thorfinn and Einar. He seems like a fair person, who treats his people right, gives them enough stuff, and just gives them opportunity to do their thing. And yeah, he seems kind as well. Like the whole thing with the children, he was ready to forgive them, but obviously he had an image to protect. That's why he couldn't do it. And he's not happy about the violence. He's not happy about war. He's not all these things. He's not happy about, and he doesn't want to, And that's why you can see him confining in Arnheid. But at the same time, you saw the scene. He's underneath a blanket with probably nothing on. You saw that, and Arnheid is there. And it's probably like Arnheid's place, the place where she sleeps. So yeah, so I don't know. I need to see a few more episodes after this and see what's going on. But yeah, okay, up until now, I was oh, Kettle is a very nice person. But in the end, here's the thing. The thing that's bothering me the most is Arnheid's face in the end. She seems full devoid of emotion. Like she is not at all. I don't know. Maybe that's just me just assuming things. Who knows? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking here, and I'm going to watch the few episodes after this, because this is the thing. How old is she? And okay, yeah, that's why I can I'm pretty sure you can understand what I'm trying to say here. But I'll just wait. I'll just wait for the upcoming episodes, and I'll see a more of the whole situation. Because, like I said, I don't think Kettle is a bad person, but he is probably has a few questionable stuff. He's not completely bad, but he does have a few questions. I think that's basically how I should interpret him. He has his few stuff, questionable things, but at the same time, as a human being, he's good. He's a good person. A little bit of a cowardly person, obviously. Doesn't want violence and all that, but for a person, he's nice. But he does have a few things that are kind of shady. Not shady, I would say, but kind of questionable. But yeah, that's why I'm keeping on hold my opinion on Kettle. I need to watch a few more episodes, and I'm sure I'll get more explanation about this whole thing. The first thing that I need to understand is the whole thing with Arnheid. How does she think about this situation, and is it exactly what I think is going on that is going on? Because I might be wrong here. Like I said, who knows? Maybe like I said, it does. I don't think that my interpretation here is wrong, but with the way that everything happened in the end. But who knows? Maybe there is a chance I am wrong. So I need to see how Arnheid sees this whole situation, what her opinion about this is, and what exactly is going on. And all that stuff. So yeah, all these things I need to first realize, and then I'll probably talk more about Kettle. But for now, at least as a person, regarding an Einar, Thorfinn, and seeing the whole thing with the kids, how he was almost crying looking at them, all those putting into all those things, putting into account, I can say that he's a nice person. However, I still need more episodes to actually understand what type of a person he is, and that's why I'll wait. Let's wait for the next few episodes. And yeah, anyways, I've been talking for a long time. Either way, that was it. That's my reaction to episode number 7 of Vinland Saga season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Vinland Saga. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.